Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to show you how I tile this small shower room, walls and floor, and the prep I do to get it ready for tiling. It needs a bit of preparation. As you can see, the walls need a scrape and some tanking, and the floor is all over the place with these old floorboards higher than the new floor. So I've got some different size backer boards here, and with some self-leveling, I will get this floor back to level before tiling. These are the tiles on the wall, these nice white Subway ceramic tiles, and on the floor, these patterned Hexagon porcelain tiles, which are both going to look great together. So let's get into it. First up, I put some more screws in any loose and squeaky boards. Then checking with a level, I find my highest point in the corner, and I use 12mm backer boards to start bringing the rest of the floor up. Using a saw and my hole cutter, I cut it to size and around the pipes. The soil pipe, I just use my roll of tape as a guide and knife out the circle. After the 12mm boards, I use my smallest 4mm boards to put on top of the existing high floorboards. This just gets the whole floor covered in backerboard without coming up too high. Then using the screws and washers, I fix it all down, screwing every 30cm. Now that's the first stage of the flooring prep done. I'll use some taping later on all the joints to allow me to self-level it without it all escaping. As you can see, there's still a bit of work here to get it level, but we'll address that in stage 2. Next, on to tanking the walls. I use the membrane tape on the bottom of the shower tray and internal joint, then paint on the waterproof paste in the wet areas. You can watch my full guide on this in the link in the description. I also tape the outer tray and the floor joints for waterproofing and self-leveling. Now the shower walls are prepped, I'm ready to move on to the wall tiling. For setting out, I lay some tiles out with 2mm spacers and with my tape check the best set out. As I have some shower rings I can't remove, I need to run a joint through them somewhere. Luckily, after a few checks, a full tile up from the shower tray works out good. I then find the lowest point of the shower tray and mark up my starting line from there. Then I draw a level line around the room in which I'll be working from. I spread adhesive on my first section and pre-cut a load of half tiles as these will be laid in a brick bomb pattern. Checking with my level and adding spacers, I complete that section, then mark up for my next spread line and then continue. I mark and notch out the shower control and luckily just get it behind the rings that I can't remove. And you can see why I needed a joint running through them there. And then from there I just go up and complete the rest of the wall. For the next wall, I decide to continue the 4.5 pattern so it marinates around the corner. I measure back and draw a vertical line to work from. Then same as before, I mark my spread lines and fill in the sections one by one until it's all complete. Now for the second part of the floor prep, I gave it a first initial coat of self-leveling, then I go back over it again with another coat to get it all perfectly level. I use marks and backboard guides so I've got something to work to. Again, I'll leave a link in the description, guys, so you can see how I easily sort out unlevel floors. It shows you what taking some time to prep can do considering the state of this floor. I now have a perfectly level surface, so I'm good to start laying some Hexagon tiles. For setting out, I decided to go square off of the shower tray with a full tile to keep as much of the pattern as possible. I then drew some lines and dry laid the tiles so I can then just spread and tile. As these hexagons had a bit of a raised back, I back buttered them before laying. And as I dry laid them before, now I can just put them down in the order that I took them up. Checking with my level as I go to make sure I'm square running down the shower tray. For pipes, it's just the same as any other tile. I just mark a box and then take them out with my hole cutter. And then I'm just making sure the floor is level across the toilet as the pan will be sitting on these tiles, and that is perfectly level. And then the final section to the door, it worked out pretty much a full tile just inside the door frame, so the wooden threshold will nicely finish against it. And that is her all done. I finished it off with the Kirikol No. 7 grey grout, which complements both the tiles nicely. This small shower room came out really well, mixing a subtle wall tile with a nice pattern hexagon floor tile. A nice balance, and a big upgrade for this small shower room. Thanks for watching, guys.